What up, man? This the Fuego Show, man. This the very first interview for the Fuego Show. I don't think I could have picked anybody better, man. He's a local, and when I say local, I mean Central Illinois legend as far as DJing goes, man. He's been doing it for a ton of years, been on big shows, big tours, work with every local artist who's making any noise, and a bunch of big name artists that we're going to let him tell you about. So he'll introduce himself, man. Go ahead.
What it do? Name's Yatti, aka DMY. For those who know me back in the 90s, it was DJ Babalu. You know, I'm a core DJ, bum squad DJ, dirty DJ. Hell, I'm just all around great guy.
And we'll let y'all decide on that. But like you said, the 90s, you went by another DJ moniker. So how long exactly have you been doing the DJ thing?
I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying, but let's put it like this, probably longer than you've been alive.
Oh, nice. Okay. So
no, I ain't gonna lie, 25 joints.
Okay. Yeah, about the same time I've been alive, really.
87.
Okay. Yeah. I was born in the top of 88, so I can dig it. So, you know, who were some of your influences that made you want to DJ and take it to the level that you took it to?
I would have to say, it started off with like, it was my brother. It was my brother Tony. We had it was a TV and radio and a record player combo or trio, whatever it was. See, for all those old school people, they know what I'm talking about. And one day I was listening to some music. It was Herbie Hancock, and them was scratching and different little things because I can't remember the exact song. But I was like, oh, that's what, how they do that. And then he showed me how to do that. Ever since then, I just been a fan of that stuff.
So would you say you grew up in a musical family? I mean, you mentioned your brother. What about your parents or cousins?
No, I'm the first.
The first? Okay.
I'm the first,
That's
yeah.
what's up.
I'm the first that I know of. As far as I know, nobody else really got into music like that. I mean, like, they all listen to it, but as far as, like, taking it to the extreme I did, I guess I'm the first that I know of.
Okay, and doing it for 25 years and some of the things you've done, what are some of the, would you highlight as your major accomplishments that you've made out of your career? Some of the bigger things that you can look back now and say, man, I'm so happy I got to do that because I was a DJ, or people you got to meet because you were a DJ.
I'll be honest with you. I think me just being a real dude, you know, being around good people is probably some of the better stuff that I've done. And really, you know, like after seeing Torch, and it's been a long time since we had touched bases, and you know, Biss, and they told me how happy they were because I was the first cat to put them on a big stage. Like, I think those kind of things mean more to me than somebody who I worked with or someone who I was sponsored by or some project I was on, because a lot of times that stuff is very impersonal, and whenever you can get that personal feeling, I mean, I think to me that means more to me than any, you know what I'm saying, because I guess if I was to get down here and start naming off stuff, it'd almost be like I was showing off or trying to impress somebody, and that's not what I'm about. You know, I'd rather talk about people that I got respect for and that actually respect me versus people I just work with for a paycheck.
Oh, yeah. When you find somebody who's willing to put other people on and show them that kind of respect, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and what goes around comes around. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of why we're really here.
Okay.
I figured you've been doing it arguably the longest here in town. So we're gonna paint the picture. The Torch Tuesday Hip Hop Awards, the 2012 awards are coming this January. We'll pick a date here in the next couple days. But basically, I want to paint the picture of how we got to the culmination of great artistry and music that we got to, and we can only get there if we know the history. So, I mean, in chronological order, you pick the names, dates, and just kind of break it down for us as far as where it started and into how you feel about the current artists that you see that you see weekly, or you're playing their music and stuff. And I'm just going to sit down and let you talk.
Okay.
It's your time.
Well, as far as chronological order, I mean, when you get to a certain age, everything starts jumbling together. what I can honestly say is like the first real rap label that I know of was Brick City. You know, and they had a good friend of mine on there named Eddie Baldwin. He was part of a group called Three the Hard Way. It was him, another black dude, and a white dude. They were technically, that I know of, the first cats to come out with a CD or a tape in Springfield, Illinois. They were the first. After that, then you had, around the same time, you had people like Doc, Fresh, you had... oh shoot, who else was? It was Bebe. I remember he was doing his thing. Let me see, who else was it? I mean, there was a few other people, then, and then that's when I kind of moved here and I got into that picture. So I can't speak about forever before then, but I know then, and then I came in and I remember like the three producers that you wanted to go holler at, because by that time, you know what I'm saying, Bebe and Hookie, both of them were killed. So, you know what I'm saying, but, I mean, they was doing their thing, you know what I'm saying, but it was me, Doc, and Fresh. Rappers before then, I remember Silk and Dollar, they were doing their thing. Fred Medley was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying, you had a few cats like that was doing, that was really doing that rap thing, to the best of what I guess they or we could do at that point in our time, because we didn't have internet and all that other stuff. Then along came like Deuce Nickel, Street Life Records. You had the Architect. You know what I'm saying? Red Carpet. You know what I'm saying?
Quick shout out, Red Carpet Records. I had my first A&R gig up there like 10 years ago. So real quick shout out, but go ahead.
Yeah. Then you had Deuce Nickel. You had you had a few, but it wasn't that many. You had Bubilla, which if I'm right, Bubilla was the first cat that had vinyl. Because I know he had his album pressed on vinyl. Fresh was the first person I know to press a vinyl on single. Peace. Yes.
Rest in peace, Fresh.
Let me see. I know I was the first cat to have a barcode. I was the first cat that had what they call that, distribution. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know I was the first cat to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I was the first cat to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the first cat to really start throwing big shows at the convention center. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So what was your first big show that you threw at the convention center? Who was on the lineup?
I want to say it was. I know it was Twister, Do or Die, Johnny P. Public Announcement.
See, that just puts a little date on it.
Yeah. It was, and then after that, the following year, I did. It was me and Hollywood. We did Twister, Do or Die again, because being from Chicago, you know what I'm saying. We knew them. We definitely got better deals than, you know what I'm saying. we got hella good deals on them. Plus all of them were good dudes. Like we all knew them on a personal level.
Speeding up mobsters.
Yeah. And we had Juvenile, Bubba Sparks. You know what I'm saying?
First concert hip hop show that I went to here in town.
We were there.
I only saw the stuff we was doing here, but we was doing like the Loop Freak Fest. We was traveling, going back to Chicago, doing stuff. Yeah, and the reason why I did that was because if you remember at that time, everybody was No Limit, and they had all the colorful, cartoony type of stuff. Well, me being the type of businessman I am, I saw the climate of how things was going, and I said, how can I make my CD stand out from all this colorful stuff? So I went with the more black and gray tone, and like right now it seems basic, but if you have to look at it with all the color that was out there, if you slap something in there that's like that, well, what's gonna stand out more?
That is.
You see what I'm saying? Because everybody was doing the pen and pixel type of thing back then.
You hear that, artist? That's why you gotta stand out. Be yourself. Be original. Be yourself. You don't have to do everything everybody else doing.
Yeah, you definitely.
Take it from Yachty.